Hello, my name is Phlanka, and today I'm going to teach you how to use a mask to blend two different materials together, or even use the old stencil brush like we used to use before. So let's get straight into this. We're going to load up a model. I'm going to probably load in from my collections catalog the Glock, because it's the only one I have in there other than my spawn gear, which is it's a little bit too heavy to work on for this little tutorial. So I'm going to spawn in the Glock. Spawn it in? No, I'm not playing the game. It's not spawn. I'm going to load in the Glock. So here we have the little tiny Glock, but we're going to switch over to the shading tab so I have more control over the node area down here. I'm going to zoom in again, so I'm using my mouse wheel and to scroll in. If you scroll up and down, sorry, it scrolls in. If you hold shift and click the mouse wheel, you can, middle mouse wheel, sorry, click it in and drag it around. It does this. And if you just click it on its own without holding shift and drag it around, it rotates. So you can place it nice and clean just by holding the shift key and stuff and moving the mouse wheel. It's always the mouse wheel to move around it in Blender. And I think control is zoom, but you can scroll up and down. It's just as easy. So here we go. We've got the Glock in. We're going to load a first material and then a second material that we want to. So I'm going to probably do like a gunmetal as like the background material that I'm going to mask out. And then we're going to do a nice fancy color on top, which is going to be the whole gun material. So it looks like we painted it onto a gun, but we left areas for the logo. So let's just start off with one of the Call of Duty ones, probably. CDL one? No. Let's do BO6. Let's have a look. So we're gonna go with a nice colourful one. Do this one. I don't know what this material is. I've not seen it in game, but it is indeed a Call of Duty material. So if it's not shown on here, you might have a problem where you have to select it from this material drop down list here. Like so. So that's a bit big. I'm gonna zoom in on this node here and extend the transform, sorry, and then change the scale up. So it's like a little gradient of things. It's bright enough. It's bright enough to work with. So I'm going to collapse these. So that's nice and small. Now I'm going to add a material for the background material that we're going to expose. Let's just search for a metal. Oh, I can't do it in Black Ops 6 because there's no metal ones in there. Let's go with a nice. Is there a nice metal on there? Probably not. Um, I say probably not. There is a lot of metals, but I'm just trying to find one that like this. This will do. I'm going to apply that material. Let that download. There you go. So that's very bumpy at the moment. So I'm going to first of all scale this down. I'm going to click the transform again, scale it down by moving up. And so it's a bit backwards in Blender. You go up to go smaller, down to go bigger. It's about there, but again, it's way too like raw metal material. I'm going to change this bump height right down. So I've put it to 0 at the minute, and it's looking a bit funky. So I'm going to hold shift and drag this up really slow. So it gives it a little bit of bump texture, like so. So I got a 0.03 just to get that kind of material texture. I'm quite happy and content with that one. So I'm going to, again, shrink this down. I'm going to copy this one now. I'm going to click it, right click it, copy. I'm going to go back to material slots. So it's slot 2, that's the material one now. I'm going to go back to the original one. So I click slot 1. I'm going to right click over here, paste. Oh, it's gone down here. So we've got the metal, we've got the gradient tropic, but we still have the old material on there. So I'm going to go back to slot 2. And with this window open, I'm going to click the minus button. So we're back on here, but we're still seeing only the original material. If we expand the outputs, you can see we've got 4 outputs on this material. And I believe we have 4 on this one as well. So yeah, same 4, which is good. So I don't have to do no fancy stuff. I'm going to move them across because we're going to need a little bit of room in the middle here. I'm going to disconnect all of these for now. So I hold control and right click to slice it all out of the way. And then we're going to add a mix color node in here. So I'm going to shift A, search, and search for mix color. I'm going to press N as well to name this one to color, just so I don't get confused. All right, so I'm going to press N again to hide the side panel. And I'm going to, because there's base color, roughness, metallic, and normal, I'm going to do this 4 times. We're going to click on this, shift D, drag it down, press N, and change this one to a roughness. And again to hide it. I'm gonna minimize that one for now, just so I've got a little bit more room. Shift D. You can do the same again, just N, metallic, and Shift D, drag that down, and change this one to normal. So now we know which one's which. I'm gonna press N again to hide this. And I realized this was probably a bad idea to expand that down because I need to see what we're doing here. So we've got, I'm gonna drag this up, zoom out, because we're not really looking at this at the minute, we're working on the node area. So I've got these four. We're gonna simply connect the base color into A from the top. So this is the main surface material. This is the one we're exposing. So the one we're exposing we put into B. So we've got to make sure it's the base colors together like this. And then the same with the roughness. Oh, I don't know why I went down there. Metallic into the A and the B. And then normal. This is the B one, so I'm going to drag that down. You can drag backwards as well if you wanted to. So there's all them connected up. I'm going to minimize these. Again, save a little bit more space. So now if we connect these up, the color to color, roughness to roughness, metallic to metallic, and normal to normal. You'll see it's got like a straight mix of them both, which isn't what we want. And if you look at this here, the factor, so when it's black, it's the full material, and then when it's white, we get the metal material. So we're gonna control this with an image. So if I search for an image texture node, like so, I'll put that there. I'm going to create a new image. I'm going to leave it black by default and turn alpha off. I'm going to call this one the mask. So for the size, I don't want it as 1K because when I blow up the size to bake it out, then pixels at 1K will be blurry around the edges. It won't look as sharp. So I always like to make this one like 4K, just so in case I bake it out in 2K, I'm not going to get any, like, I don't know the word, I don't know the word, deterioration. The edge of it won't look horrible. That's what I was meant to. I don't know what the word is for it. So I'm gonna. All right, let me explain how I'll do this. So if I want to change both of these together, so it's a square image still, I click on the top one and hold while I'm holding click. You can see it's dark. And if I drag down, it selects both of them. I can let go of click. Now, so any changes I make to this top one, it'll apply to the bottom one as well. And you can use mathematical equations in here as well. So if I press *4, that times a 1024 by 4 by 4, so it'll become a 4K image. If I press enter, we have our 4K image. So I'll click new. And now this is now our image mask. So if we connect the color into the factor, see it's gone back to just the basic color. I'm gonna do that for all of these real quick. Color into the factor, color into the factor, and color into the factor. So we'll go back up here again. We're going to now use texture paint mode on this image to paint white areas onto the gun. So if we go to up here where it says object mode, change to texture paint. And we've got our paintbrush. If I paint now, it won't work because up here you can see the color. If black is the primary brush, white is the secondary. So if I come down here and press X, it switches. So now the white is the one that we're painting with. So if I come onto the side here, just write hi. You can see how the images blend. So again, whatever we paint on there as white, it will come through as the top material. If I press X again, oh, don't want to do that. If I press X again and change this to a soft brush, I should change the strength down a little bit as well. And I can paint around the edges and just really soften it up a bit more. It's a bit harsh, and that's a really bad job of trying to do that. But you can see that you can paint through this. If you take your time with it, you know what you're doing, then you're pretty good at it. You'll be pretty good at it. I'm not pretty good at the freehand painting with the mouse and keyboard. So I'm just going to go with showing you how to do the stencil now. So with this image mask still selected, I can load an image now, which will be through this tools section up here. Click tools. And I'm going to change the brush to hard brush first because it will override this one. And you want it to be as harsh as possible, so make it perfectly map out. So I'm going to go to, I've changed to hard brush again, sorry. Click on the settings up here, tools. Scroll down until you see texture, and then click new. So there's no image on there at the moment. I've changed this view plane to stencil, and now it's still black. I'm going to click on this texture tab down the bottom here and open an image. I'm going to try and find an image to use like that, but as you can see, it's stuck in the bottom corner and it's also the wrong aspect ratio. So if I go back to the tools, scroll down, and click reset, transform, and image aspect, it goes back to the original scale and like the aspect of the actual image. And this is the same as before, where you hold right click to move it around, shift and right click to scale, and then control and right click to rotate. So I'm going to place this on the side of the gun here, and I want this to look like the gun metal coming through. So it's on black at the moment, so when I paint, nothing happens. Or I press X, it switches to white. I can paint through, and then this becomes the mask for the metal, like so. So there's how you can do the mask painting, and also with the image mask, you can replace this completely with something else. So I'm gonna Shift A, search for a bevel node. So let's try this bevel for now, and Shift A, search for a geometry node. Alright, so these need to be the other way around actually. This one needs to be on top, because we're going to create a new edge detection node from this. So with these two nodes, I'm going to press Shift A at the side of them and search for a dot product, like so, and then connect normal from this top one into the top vector, and bevel from the bottom one into the bottom vector. And then if I press Control Shift click on this, it should preview the material on the surface, which is purely white at the moment. I'm going to change back to object mode, because I'm also not painting anymore. So it's completely white at the moment, but if you change this to rendered mode, it should work on there. But there's also one more thing you need to change. You need to make sure we're in cycles, like this. So as you can see, what it's doing is added like a black detection edge around the edges. I'm going to turn on denoise as well, just so it's a bit faster. But with these with nodes like this, it really matters about the size of the object. So as you can see, it's really blurry and horrible to see. But I scale it by pressing S and scale it up. You can see them black edges become more refined and more detailed. Turn the radius up and down as well. Like you have way more control when the object's a lot bigger. So if I change this even bigger, so I zoom right out, scale it up, and turn the radius up, you have much more finer detail control. Obviously the samples, you can turn that up as well to give it more of a softer look. But if you're still not happy with that black and white mask like this, you can press Shift A, search for a ramp, then connect this onto this line here and bring the blacks up yourself. So it has like a really nice worn look to the gun or to your model. And then you can simply use this as your mask on these. So I'm going to connect this, Control Shift click this on again to bring this material on there. But I'm going to drag this, select this drop down here and turn scene light and scene world. So you get the real time view of this. And then with this color output, I'm going to connect that into the factor of the color or factor of any of these. As you can see, it's got like the edge on there, but it's going to override our image at the moment. But I'm just going to do that to all of these real quick so I can see how I can use a procedural mask. Like so. So again, it's not very precise, but you can go crazy on this the mask. Which one was it? Radius. You can even do it that way and then invert this. I'll just bring the white down here. The white up, sorry. It's kind of hard to get this just right, but see, it's got like a little bit of an edge on there. It's probably not the best material to show it on. If I remove the color off of this, remove that color and make this gun like a darker color, you can see it a bit better. Also, it doesn't help that I've got a low render count on, and turn the denoise on to Optics, probably faster. No, it's definitely not faster. Open image denoise, yes. Albedo normal. So you can see it's got like the some sort of edge detect on there. It's not amazing. I'm gonna put this color back into there. But you get the gist of what's possible with this the two texture mixing via color mix nodes like this and masks. You can even add like a search for a Voronoi texture, for example. I can't even say it. Voronoi texture. So that looks like this. If I change the scale, it's got like that change it to 4D. And there's loads of different ones on here that you can change between. So this one looks like stars a little bit. Let me add a mask as well. So add a mask. Oh, actually I can just drag this mask from up here and unhook that. Connect that into there. So you can see it's got like sort of like stars. So I could use that as a mask. And then if I preview that now, you can see how you got like, it's really hard to tell actually because this mask is so soft. If I change this to whatever that says, constant, there you go. So now I have more control over the exact mask itself. Yeah, it's not amazing. That texture right there is not amazing, but you can kind of see what's possible with this. I'll try and change this constant one on here. So that's a bit better with constant. I think constant's probably better for the mask. As you can see, you've added nice little edge wear to there. You could probably change this metal to be more rough, more roughness, sorry. So there's metal one here. We'll take that off. Bring that down. It looks very like a stupid shiny metal. But you get the... I'm just going crazy right now. I should just live stream this because I never know how to end the video. Never know how to properly produce a video. Yeah, I might just like start live streaming random stuff. If you want to see me live stream, let me know in the comment section or in the Discord. Because I think that'll probably be easier for me because I learn things as I'm making videos. Like this video started with a decal and I was showing you how to do edgeware. So yeah, that's how you do that's how you do masks to blend materials. If you want to add just a normal decal onto there, it's the same principle, but instead of using the image texture as a mask, if I do this, Control Shift D, drag this over here and unhook everything in a moment. Oh, I can't unhook it. So I'm going to connect the color into the color B, alpha into A. If I preview that. So then this one can be from here, I think. Oh no, it wouldn't be alpha, it'll be the color on there. There goes. I can do that as well and connect that to here. Oh wait, I need to do the output to color. Yeah, so I could do something like that as well. Like paint your own decals onto the side of it. That could be another tutorial if you're interested. I could definitely show you how to do that as well. So yeah, if you like this, I've already said if you like it. I'm just gonna end the video. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry this is not a very professional video, but leave comments, talk to me in my Discord, give me ideas on what you would like to learn through videos because I need to get better at this kind of stuff. But it's been a pleasure. Thank you for watching and make sure you subscribe, guys.